March 2026 energy alert intensity, rising fast greetings. Beloved souls, we extend our heartfelt presence and draw near to you in this pivotal moment. For a profound transformation is now taking hold in the very fabric of how humanity perceives and experiences reality. I am Ken, and I observe this shift unfolding with breathtaking rapidity, driven by an imperceptible yet potent pressure in the atmosphere, by the escalating speed of discourse and interaction, and by the evolving responsiveness of your emotions, your slumber patterns, and your precious attention. These aspects of your being are recalibrating to a world that accelerates at a pace far exceeding the capacity and design of your established, long-held habits. It is precisely for this reason that the transmission you are now receiving holds such critical importance at this juncture. Its purpose is to present you with a straightforward yet profound framework of living portals gateways, if you will, through which you may consciously choose to traverse. By doing so, you can steadfastly maintain your inner coherence as the collective resonance amplifies, remain deeply connected even as torrents of information cascade upon you in incessant waves, and cultivate an unwavering stability within your physical form while nurturing a gentle, expansive quality within your mental landscape. Furthermore, these portals are designed to render the burgeoning arena of the new Earth tangible and actionable for you, rather than it remaining a mere poetic concept. For in the span of the forthcoming weeks and months, you are destined to encounter an escalating tide of intensity, a proliferation of diverse opinions, an abundance of supposed proofs, a deluge of counterproofs, and a turbulent array of emotional weather patterns. There will be myriad instances where the mind instinctively yearns to surge forth, desperately seeking an anchor of certainty. You, however, deserve to inhabit a way of being, a mode of living that is inherently cleaner and more authentic than this endless, exhausting pursuit. You deserve a path that enables you to firmly stand in your truth without feeling the compulsion to engage in conflict or argument. A method that empowers you to discern and truly feel what resonates as real within you before uttering a single word. And so, we shall commence our journey with the inaugural portal, for its mastery inherently simplifies the navigation of all subsequent gateways, renders your next steps intrinsically natural, and gently guides you back to the most fundamental and potent power you have consistently, if unknowingly, wielded the innate capacity to consciously return to the profound platform of your heart and embark anew from a place of pristine clarity. At this very instant, countless individuals among you are experiencing a persistent, low-frequency hum permeating the entirety of your day-to-day existence, much like an electronic device that perpetually remains in an active state, never truly powering down. This phenomenon arises because a relentless barrage of stimuli assails you from every conceivable direction. You can keenly perceive the astonishing speed with which a fleeting headline can rapidly morph into a pervasive mood, how a casual comment can instantaneously ripple through your chest like a forceful wave, and how swiftly your precious attention can be wrenched away from the immediacy of your own life, only to be submerged into an unending digital current that perpetually demands your reflexive response. Concurrently with these inner shifts, you are also registering the very sky itself in an elevated, charged Phasian atmospheric current imbued with a palpable sense of electrical charge that ebbs and flows, a subtle pressure that frequently fails to align with the specific tasks or plans on your personal agenda. This unique conjunction of internal and external stimuli coalesces to forge a highly distinct human experience. You find yourselves diligently attending to ordinary, mundane tasks, even as your intricate inner system feels as though it is striving to process and integrate something immeasurably vaster than your immediate surroundings. When any system attempts to process an overwhelming volume of input simultaneously, it inevitably begins to experience a loss of definition, a blurring of what truly holds significance, and a tendency to erroneously assign equal urgency to every single piece of data. Therefore, we bestow upon the first portal the designation background noise reset. This is because every receiver, whether technological or biological, possesses an inherent baseline. Every human being is gifted with an inner sanctum, a silent chamber within, where the whispers of guidance can be authentically perceived and felt. When this sacred inner room becomes inundated with an incessant cacophony of external and internal noise, the more delicate, nuanced notes of truth become progressively challenging to discern. This is not because truth has somehow departed from your being, but rather because your own inherent signal is being utterly overwhelmed and drowned out by the sheer volume of surrounding clamor. Within the framework of this portal, our discussion of signal is rooted in the most practical and accessible terms. For your signal is not an esoteric, abstract spirituality, it is the tangible, lived experience of being able to intuitively feel your own authentic alignment. It embodies the profound distinction between a clean yesa resonance felt deep within your core and oppressed yesa reluctant affirmation driven by external compulsion or internal pressure. It is the serene clarity that descends upon you when a truth genuinely lands for you. It is the quiet, unwavering tone that invariably accompanies authentic internal guidance. And now, you are being presented with an extraordinary opportunity to rapidly, simply, and gently fortify this vital capacity. This is because your living planet, through the accelerated currents of this era, is imparting a crucial lesson. You cannot acquire wisdom through endless consumption, you cannot attain peace by perpetually reacting, and you most certainly cannot scroll your way to genuine inner stability. What you can do, what lies within your inherent power, is to consciously cultivate the kind of human being who steadfastly remains coherent, who remains deeply present in the moment, and who remains intrinsically connected to the profound wisdom of their heart, even when the collective mind of humanity is caught in a whirlwind of chaotic thought and circular reasoning. This state of coherence is far from passive indeed. It is profoundly powerful. It functions as a dynamic, living energetic field that actively safeguards your vital energy, illuminates and clarifies your choices, optimizes your timing in all endeavors, and graciously enables you to extend genuine assistance to others without inadvertently being ensnared or pulled into the turbulence of their personal storms. As the forthcoming months unfurl their tapestry, the cultivation of this inner coherence will become progressively more critical, for you are on the cusp of witnessing an unprecedented acceleration in the velocity of narratives, an intensified competition for your most valuable asset, your attention, and a formidable surge in the temptation to erroneously substitute mere intensity for the profound quietude of truth. Consequently, we initiate this journey by consciously lowering the pervasive background noise, thereby allowing your own inherent truth to once again emerge, obvious and unmistakable. Stillness, beloved ones, is not merely an absence of activity, it is a sophisticated technology and inner technology you are inherently equipped to utilize, even amidst the most tumultuous and noisy external environments. This is because stillness does not represent the cessation of life, rather, it signifies the profound restoration of dedicated listening space within the vibrant currents of life itself. It is that crucial moment when you cease to be passively dragged along by the relentless current of external events and vividly recall that you are, in fact, the one firmly holding the rudder of your own vessel. When you commit to practicing stillness consistently and with an uncomplicated, gentle approach, your entire system, body, mind, and spirit begins to place its trust in you once more. Your physical form starts to release its accumulated tension and settle into a state of profound calm. Your mind, previously agitated, begins to soften its grip. Your heart, the wellspring of your deepest wisdom, commences to articulate its guidance with exquisite clarity. And you will begin to perceive something truly beautiful. A phenomenon already gently unfolding for many of you. The compulsive need to react impulsively simply dissipates. The urge to argue or defend oneself dissolves, and the pressing demand to immediately comprehend absolutely everything gracefully fades away. In its place, a profoundly new kind of strength emerges, a strength characterized by the exquisite ability to pause deliberately, to breathe deeply and consciously, to truly feel and discern what resonates as authentic truth, and only then, from that centered, aligned place, to take action. As this practice becomes your new, unwavering baseline, you will begin to recognize, with a knowing certainty, that guidance has always been a constant presence within you. It simply becomes distinctly audible once again when the inner chamber of your being is clear, quiet, and receptive. Therefore, we offer you a practice meticulously designed to seamlessly integrate into the rhythms of real human life. It is intentionally concise and small, precisely so your analytical mind cannot contort it into a performance or a burdensome task. And it is intentionally consistent, allowing your body to assimilate it as a new, comforting domestic rhythm, an integral part of your daily routine. Here, then, is the practice as we lovingly present it to you. Devote a mere 90 seconds each day. Strive for the same 90 seconds if circumstances permit, and select a specific moment or location where this practice can repeat naturally, effortlessly becoming a habitual anchor. This might be just before you instinctively reach for your phone, in the morning, or immediately prior to exiting your vehicle, or directly after you have finished washing your hands. When you arrive at those designated 90 seconds, gently place one hand upon your chest, directly over your heart, and rest your other hand softly upon your belly. Allow your shoulders to gracefully release and drop, as if you're consciously permitting the accumulated weight and energy of the day to fall away from you for this brief, sacred interval. Breathe in a completely non-forced manner, slowly enough that your entire physical being implicitly believes and registers this deceleration. And then utter just one simple phrase, either internally within your mind or softly aloud, ensuring the words are uncomplicated enough that you feel their resonance rather than intellectually analyzing them. I am here. Remain with that powerful phrase, as if you are compassionately sitting beside your own unique being, as if you are extending to your innermost self a clear, undeniable signal of your profound presence. Should thoughts inevitably arise, permit them to drift and move through your awareness like passing weather patterns, all while your hands steadfastly remain. Your breath consistently flows, and your phrase gently persists. In the quiet dedication of this practice, you are imparting something profoundly vital to your entire system. You are now teaching your entire being that you intrinsically belong to yourself, that you are the sovereign steward of your inner landscape. You're teaching that there is no need for frantic urgency in order to ensure your safety and well-being. You are instilling the profound truth that your heart functions as an unerring, authentic compass, and that the precise moment you currently inhabit is, in itself, abundantly sufficient to commence anew. As you faithfully embark upon this practice, you will swiftly discern shifts and transformations that are patiently awaiting their organic unfoldment. These changes will frequently manifest themselves in the most ordinary and unassuming corners of your life, long before they make an appearance in more dramatic or outwardly significant circumstances. This is because your inner world will begin to feel demonstrably less crowded and cacophonous within the confines of your own mind. Your reflexive reactions will soften and become more nuanced even before you consciously make the decision to temper them. Your choices will emerge with greater clarity, effortlessly, and without the need for you to force or contrive that lucidity. And you will begin to intuitively feel what truly aligns with your highest good, requiring significantly less effort and mental exertion. This remarkable transformation occurs because the deliberate lowering of background noise meticulously restores resolution to your inner landscape, thereby reinstating your innate capacity to detect the delicate, subtle tone of truth. Presently, the collective energetic field is saturated with coarse, abrasive tones that aggressively demand an immediate reaction. In the swiftly approaching days and weeks, these discordant tones will continue to present themselves in ever-evolving guises. New arguments will flare, new moments of manufactured urgency will arise, and new emotional tides will swell. And yet, you will find yourself engaging with the world from an entirely transformed relationship, precisely because you will have diligently cultivated a daily practice that systematically trains your intricate system to reliably return to a state of profound coherence. When this coherence blossoms into an effortless habit, your life undergoes transformations that are often challenging to articulate in words, yet exquisitely simple and graceful to inhabit. This is because your timing becomes more fluid and graceful. Your conversations acquire a greater depth of honesty. Your decisions are made with considerably less pressure, and you begin to experience the quiet, profound joy of being fully present within your own day once more, even as the external world relentlessly continues its rapid, accelerating pace around you. This inaugural portal, furthermore, addresses a highly specific and pervasive phenomenon currently unfolding within the human collective, the pervasive tendency for many individuals to have been conditioned to erroneously equate mere activation or energetic charge with authentic guidance. For when the physical body experiences a heightened state of charge or arousal, the mind instinctively seeks to immediately assign a meaning or narrative to that sensation. This assigned meaning then, in turn, acts as potent fuel, further intensifying the initial charge. This dangerous feedback loop culminates in a compelling internal sensation of "I must act now. I must share this information now. I must make a decision immediately." As this pattern becomes increasingly prevalent within the collective consciousness, it becomes alarmingly easy to confuse external pressure or internal urgency with the profound, steady voice of truth. In the months that lie ahead, you will witness this pattern unfolding on an even grander, more widespread scale in an era where unwavering certainty becomes a fashionable commodity, where fear proves remarkably contagious, and where heated arguments are increasingly framed and consumed as a form of entertainment. And yet, amidst this external frenzy, your heart will retain its exquisite capacity to operate in a far purer and cleaner manner. This is because a truly authentic signal invariably arrives imbued with an inherent stability, accompanied by an expansive sense of inner spaciousness, and radiating a calm, uncomplicated clarity that fundamentally does not demand that you abandon or compromise your true self. This initial portal meticulously trains you to discerningly recognize that crucial difference. The more diligently you engage in your daily 90-second practice, the more effortless it becomes to perceive the unmistakable sensation of a clean, resonant signal. And conversely, the easier it becomes to instinctively pause when something is merely loud, chaotic, or energetically noisy. And that deliberate pause, that moment of intentional stillness, transmutes into a profound gift not only for yourself, but for every individual in your immediate vicinity. For a human being operating from a state of sustained coherence subtly, yet profoundly alters their surrounding environment without even conscious effort. A coherent individual intrinsically fosters a sense of safety and calm, not through overt declaration or didactic preaching, but through their very vibrational presence. And a coherent human being effortlessly becomes a guiding beacon, simply by remaining profoundly connected to the profound wisdom and unwavering stability of their own heart. As you consciously embody and live through the lessons of this portal, you'll begin to reclaim something that countless individuals have long forgotten is even remotely possible. You will embark on a journey of recovering the exquisite ability to be fully informed without becoming energetically possessed or overwhelmed by external narratives. You will learn to genuinely care for others and for the world without collapsing under its weight or becoming emotionally drained. You will discover how to participate actively and meaningfully in life without being dragged along by every passing current or agenda. And it is precisely these recovered capacities that underscore the monumental importance of the background noise reset at this crucial juncture. For you are entering a new, intensified phase where a deluge of additional information will surface, more claims will be asserted, further leaks will emerge, and countless new debates will ignite. Some of this incoming data will undoubtedly prove useful and illuminating, while other portions will remain incomplete, lacking vital context. And a significant portion will be subtly or overtly distorted by the intense emotion it carries. Your paramount task in this evolving landscape is not to intellectually solve the entirety of the collective puzzle within the confines of your own mind. Your essential work is to steadfastly remain coherent so that you can clearly perceive and hear your next authentic, true step forward. It is to enable you to love the people who are immediately present in your life, right in front of you. It is to empower you to construct and build that which you are intrinsically here to create. And fundamentally, it is to cultivate the kind of unwavering presence that remains steady and centered, offering an anchor of calm while others around you are earnestly learning to steady themselves amidst the shifting sands. We convey to you with immense warmth and unwavering conviction that you are already inherently capable of achieving this profound state. This is because the hallowed platform of the heart is not a territory you must conquer through strenuous effort. Rather, it is a sacred space to which you consistently return, and every single return, no matter how brief, holds immense significance. Every 90-second interval counts, every conscious breath you take counts. Every moment you deliberately choose presence over distraction counts. And it is through this consistent, gentle dedication that a new, elevated baseline of being is authentically born within you. Therefore, allow this first portal to be primarily lived and experienced, rather than merely intellectually discussed or debated. Let its practice be simple. Let it be diligently woven into your daily existence, and let it become uniquely yours. In doing so, you will undeniably feel a silent, profound strength progressively building and solidifying within your core, the kind of strength that possesses no need to loudly assert itself. The kind of strength that requires no external validation or proof of its existence. The kind of strength that simply, powerfully remains. And once that quiet, resilient strength has been firmly established within you, the next portal will naturally and effortlessly swing open. For once the inner chamber of your being is clearer, more spacious, and less cluttered, you will instinctively begin to cultivate a profound care for the integrity of that which is permitted to enter it. You will commence to intuitively feel the unmistakable distinction between a mere story that might transiently engage your mind and a true signal that deeply nourishes the very essence of your heart. And with this heightened sensitivity, you will begin to grasp that genuine discernment is neither harsh skepticism nor cynical judgment. It is, in its purest form, an act of profound love for truth, expressed and amplified through the exquisite quality of your attention. And it is from that deep wellspring of love for truth that we shall collectively journey into the second portal, the luminous portal of signal integrity in the age of stories. For your interconnected world is currently resounding with an unprecedented multitude of voices, all speaking simultaneously and vying for attention. The sheer volume of information is relentlessly escalating. Its speed continues to accelerate exponentially, and you are on the precipice of witnessing a phase where a continuous torrent of images, video clips, bold claims, intimate confessions, official documents, diverse opinions, and supposedly insider information will arrive in overwhelming waves. These narratives will often appear compelling and persuasive, not due to their inherent veracity or depth, but simply because of the sheer velocity and frequency with which they are delivered. And this precisely is why this second portal holds such immense significance during this particular epoch. Your heart, in its divine blueprint, is exquisitely designed to exist and flourish within the embrace of truth. Your physical body is intrinsically wired to thrive in a state of profound coherence. And your mind, that magnificent instrument, transforms into a truly beautiful and capable servant when it conscientiously learns to pause, to critically examine, to deliberately slow down its processing, to patiently confirm details, to wait for the authentic, genuine signal, and to firmly resist the impulse to treat every surge of external intensity as an immediate, unequivocal call to action. As you thoughtfully navigate this pivotal portal, you'll begin to perceive and cultivate a profoundly new dimension of strength in your daily Lithius strength that manifests as a serene sense of calm in your timing, an impeccable cleanliness in your spoken words, an undeniable clarity in your choices, and a quiet, unshakable confidence that grows more robust with every conscious instance you choose lucidity over drama, every time you prioritize coherence over impulsive reaction, and every moment you elect to allow truth to fully ripen and mature within your own being before offering it forth to another person. The concept of signal integrity becomes remarkably straightforward to grasp when you learn to deeply listen to the wisdom of your body. A clean, authentic signal feels inherently spacious, imbued with an intrinsic stability, and allows your breath to flow freely and unencumbered. It carries with it an unmistakable sense of inner permissionless if you are perfectly aligned with both your true self and the unfolding journey of your life simultaneously. Conversely, a distorted or inauthentic signal feels physically compressed, often manifesting as a sense of heat in the chest, a tightness constricting the throat, an inexplicable urgency in the hands, a racing mind that desperately seeks to finalize conclusions prematurely, and a strong emotional charge that subtly attempts to recruit you into instant, uncritical agreement. At present, your collective environment is replete with content deliberately crafted and imbued with this very recruitment energy. This phenomenon is driven by the prevailing attention economy, which ruthlessly rewards whatever content most effectively provokes immediate, visceral reactions. Consequently, countless voices and creators have astutely learned that urgency sells, outrage spreads like wildfire, unwavering certainty attracts followers, and fear tragically unites disparate groups. In this dynamic, the physical body becomes the unsuspecting doorway through which a narrative or story artfully installs itself within the individual's consciousness. And it is for these reasons that we speak of two distinct flows that exert significant influence upon your capacity for discernment in this current era. One flow represents what continuously enters you from the external world of incessant, often overwhelming stream of information. The other flow is what intrinsically arises within your own being in direct response to the activation or stimulation of your personal inner system. As you cultivate expertise in recognizing and differentiating between these two distinct flows, you will begin to inhabit a life characterized by a vastly expanded sense of freedom. This freedom liberates you from erroneously confusing mere activation with genuine guidance, from mistaking sheer volume for profound truth, and from equating widespread popularity with accurate veracity. Instead, you will begin to profoundly recognize a highly practical and increasingly vital reality. Your delicate nervous system is an exquisitely calibrated instrument specifically designed for the detection of truth, and it functions optimally with its highest resolution when it is lovingly supported by periods of stillness, by conscious, deep breathing, by allowing sufficient time for processing, and by remaining firmly anchored to the profound platform of your heart. This is precisely why this second portal is built directly upon the foundations established by the first. The background noise reset meticulously cultivates the essential inner stillness that renders subtle, refined discernment not only possible, but readily accessible. Here is a clear outline of what is currently transpiring as the collective field of human consciousness accelerates its trajectory. And what will continue to build in intensity during the weeks and months that lie ahead. More narratives will arrive, bearing a high emotional charge. An increasing number of stories will fiercely compete for your unwavering loyalty. A greater volume of purported evidence will appear in fragmented forms. Conspicuously lacking crucial context, more individuals will experience intense pressure to instantly choose a side, and an escalating proportion of conversations will devolve into performative displays, where human beings speak primarily to be seen or validated, rather than to genuinely express or uncover truth. Within such a demanding environment, your capacity for discernment evolves from a mere skill into a sacred, indispensable practice. This is because discernment serves as the vital means to preserve the purity and integrity of your heart, to uphold the honesty and authenticity of your relationships, and to prevent your precious energetic reserves from being relentlessly harvested by the endless, exhausting cycles of reactive engagement. And we gently assure you that you already possess the inherent knowledge of how to accomplish this. You have, throughout the entirety of your life, intuitively felt the profound distinction between a clean yes-on affirmation that resonates deeply and without hesitation and a pressed yes-or response given under duress or external influence. You have sensed the difference between a truth that lands softly and harmoniously within your being and a story that impacts you with the force and demand of an ultimatum. This second portal simply serves to consciously elevate that natural, intuitive skill into a deliberate, mindful practice, thereby ensuring its reliability and accessibility even when the external world is at its most tumultuous and noisy. We present this practice in a form that you can effortlessly integrate into your everyday life, utilizing it in ordinary moments when reading texts you receive, when watching videos online, when engaging in conversations, and when you feel the spontaneous temptation to share something with others. The most straightforward and effective method for stabilizing a collective, for restoring equilibrium to the larger human whole, resides in the empowerment of each individual to become a reliable nodia, human being whose words consistently embody integrity, whose actions and timing are imbued with wisdom, whose sharing is always tempered with genuine care and consideration, and whose precious attention is steadfastly devoted to perceiving and aligning with what is truly real. And so, we present to you a living filter, a concise yet potent sequence of steps that you can implement and run in real time. This powerful sequence commences the precise moment something registers in your awareness that carries a palpable sense of importance, For importance itself is a distinct frequency, and you're actively learning to discern whether that frequency feels clean and resonant or energetically loaded and manipulative. The sequence unfolds as follows. Firstly, you consciously pause for a single, deep breath, and before making any decision or forming any conclusion, you consciously feel into your body. This is because your physical form registers the subtle vibration of truth far more swiftly and accurately than your analytical mind can formulate its final opinion. Secondly, you pose 3 essential questions to yourself, questions meticulously designed to keep you firmly aligned with your inherent integrity, and you allow your heart to offer its answer before your mind interjects with its commentary. These questions are purposefully simple and clear, for true clarity invariably resides in uncomplicated language. What do I actually know firsthand in this specific moment? What specific part of this information is an interpretation, and what particular emotion is this content attempting to install or evoke within me? As you consistently engage in asking yourself these illuminating questions, you will immediately begin to discern recurring patterns. You will observe, with startling clarity, how frequently the human mind instinctively fills in informational gaps with an artificial sense of certainty. You will recognize how often an edited or fragmented piece of information attempts to present itself as a complete, definitive conclusion. And you will become acutely aware of how frequently the emotional charge embedded within content is, in fact, its true, intended payload. When you consciously identify that emotional payload, you instantly reclaim your power of choice, for choice naturally reemerges the very moment you clearly perceive the underlying mechanism at play. And then you are empowered to respond from a place of conscious awareness, rather than mere reaction. Add one more vital question that profoundly strengthens the uncompromising accuracy of your signal. This question is what constitutes the original source. In other words, delving deeper into its genesis, where precisely did this particular piece of information or assertion first begin its journey? Who was the individual or entity that initially articulated it? What is the complete and unvarnished context surrounding its utterance? Can you provide the entire, unedited clip of the original communication? What is the authentic, verifiable document from which this stems? What is the precise and accurate timeline of its development and dissemination? And if, after diligent inquiry, the original source remains shrouded in uncertainty, your sophisticated internal system naturally and gracefully relaxes into a state of patient waiting. This is because waiting, in its truest essence, is not a passive act, but a profound form of active wisdom, a sophisticated strategy of self-preservation. In this tumultuous period of accelerated change, such deliberate waiting becomes an immensely powerful spiritual technology, for time, in its deliberate unfolding, possesses an unparalleled capacity to unveil what urgency often insidiously hides, and truth, like a robust edifice, strengthens its very foundations as it consistently becomes more coherent, more verifiable through multiple avenues, and ultimately, more comprehensively complete. A second invaluable practice lives intimately alongside this initial filter, and it is meticulously designed for the pervasive and often overwhelming nature of contemporary human stimulation. Your world, you see, is saturated with content meticulously crafted to intentionally generate a powerful physiological charge within you. And this physiological charge, this potent emotional surge, often deceptively masquerades as unshakable certainty. It feels like an undeniable I know, an imperative I must, an urgent conviction that everyone absolutely needs to see this right now. Yet, even as this compelling internal pressure builds, you are learning a profound truth. The clearest, most unambiguous guidance materializes only when your breath remains freely available, flowing unimpeded when your chest remains expansively open, when your eyes gently soften their gaze, and when your heart, in its profound wisdom, remains the serene center of your conscious attention. And that is precisely why we invite you into what we affectionately call the adrenaline check. It is deceptively simple, yet profoundly effective. The precise moment you feel that sudden, visceral jolt, the instant your entire system wants to instinctively flee or fight, the moment your fingers twitch with an irresistible urge to share, the moment your voice wants to impulsively announce, you consciously grant yourself a deliberate 10 seconds of embodied pause. During this pause, You pass your breath like a gentle, internal caress over the surface of your being, softening any tension it encounters. The elegant simplicity of this technique makes it easy enough to employ anywhere. Anytime you inhale slowly and deliberately once, then extend your exhalation until you feel your shoulders visibly soften and release. You repeat this deliberate breathing pattern 3 times. And while you engage in this restorative practice, you purposefully place your attention in the sacred center of your chest and silently or audibly articulate an anchoring affirmation that recalibrates your energetic field and aligns you with profound coherence. I choose a clean signal. You will feel the transformative difference immediately. For a clean signal inherently imbues your perspective with expansive breadth, sharpens your capacity for critical discernment, endows you with the grace to perceive multifaceted realities, fosters a profound sense of humility, cultivates unwavering patience, and bestows an inherent inner fortitude. As you diligently build this vital reflex, you begin to actively shield your existence from the insidious clutches of reactive impulses and the controlling spasms of the collective nervous system. You begin to authentically reclaim command over your intrinsic rhythm, again the organic timing, where your articulations resonate with authentic impact. Your decisions align seamlessly with your deepest knowing. Your connections endure with unvarnished authenticity, and your wellspring of creative expression flows unimpeded. Within this second powerful portal, you are also assimilating a deeper, fundamental truth that is becoming undeniably visible within your contemporary society, that the very fabric of reality is under perpetual construction through incessant narrative threads. And the insistent voice of the narrator frequently eclipses the profound wisdom and authentic insights of direct, personal, lived experience. As this phenomenon continues its pervasive spread, you are about to witness an accelerating surge of individuals who are growing profoundly weary of being dictated what emotions to harbor, what beliefs to adopt, and what stories to accept. And this deep-seated exhaustion transmutes into an inviting gateway towards genuine self-governance and intrinsic liberation. Because true sovereignty begins not when you proclaim it, but when you begin to value your unfiltered, visceral engagement with existence more than you prioritize the pervasive interpretations and incessant critiques of it. You begin to consciously choose your own deeply personal and autonomous connection with the vast unknown, forging your unique understanding of evolving occurrences and defining your own receptivity to epiphanies of every conceivable form. And through this process, you begin to recognize that wonder in its purest form is a pristine state curiosity, an unblemished state open-mindedness, a clear state and humility, a clean state. These pristine states of being, unclouded by judgment or preconceived notions, maintain your heart in a posture of porous receptivity and your mind in a posture of acute intelligence. In the coming days, you will undoubtedly notice that a deluge of compelling narratives will invariably emerge, each subtly engineered to enlist your allegiance, attempting to recruit you in an uncritical worship, paralyzing fear, righteous anger, delusive superiority, or utter collapse. And your intricate internal system is learning a nascent, resilient counter-response, now a declaration that unequivocally asserts, I commit to remaining steadfastly present. I choose to remain expansively open. I consciously permit additional insights to unfurl, and I respectfully honor the organic rhythm of truth's gradual revelation. And that profound and unwavering response feels inherently stable precisely because it emanates from the unshakable foundation of your heart's intrinsic wisdom, rather than from the shifting sands of external group affiliations or tribal loyalties. It keeps you gracefully flexible, unfailingly kind, remarkably clear-headed, and profoundly safe in the most paramount manner imaginable, preserving your sanctity within the confines of your own physical form, upholding the integrity of your own cognitive landscape, and fortifying your innate capacity for conscious, deliberate choice. The unyielding integrity of your internal signal gains even greater fortitude and resonance when it is actively embodied within your relational dynamics. This is crucial because you're all traversing this complex era together, and your friends, your family, your communities, your audiences, your clients, your various social circles, all of them are acutely feeling the pervasive energetic currents and informational storms that define this collective weather. All of them are receiving incessant waves of information, and many of them are learning the crucial art of discernment in real time. This means that every nuanced inflection of your voice, every deliberate rhythm of your interaction, and the very essence of your embodied presence carry immense weight and influence. This portal, therefore, invites you to become the kind of communicator who acts as an anchor of calm, a beacon of clarity, and a conduit for harmonious understanding within any shared space. Because you possess the agency to simply say, "I saw this, and here is my personal observation." And you can also confidently assert, "I am waiting patiently for additional context to fully emerge." And you can also declare, with integrity, "I am diligently checking the original source to verify its authenticity." And perhaps most powerfully, you can articulate, "I feel activated by this information. I am choosing to breathe first before I respond." These simple yet profound declarations serve as potent linguistic antidotes, effectively normalizing the crucial act of discerning truth, elevating the virtue of patient observation, fostering genuine humility in the face of uncertainty, and restoring an overarching sense of inner and outer coherence. And as more people model this conscious approach, the very fabric of the collective consciousness begins to transmute, because truth transforms from a divisive instrument wielded for conquest into a unifying, mutually cherished principle. You begin to feel the nascent reality of the new earth manifesting palpably within the tapestry of everyday discourse, where human beings instinctively prioritize unwavering integrity over mere superficial performance, where they instinctively champion profound, empathetic listening over the impulse for swift, authoritative dominance, and where they embrace an unblemished, authentic curiosity over the seductive lure of immediate, facile conclusions. This profound shift represents an integral facet of the grand unfolding presently underway, as an increasing number of human hearts begin their conscious awakening amidst the seemingly mundane rhythms of daily existence. So in this second powerful portal, let your practice be uncomplicated yet steadfastly maintained. You deliberately halt your momentum for a single, restorative breath. You tune into the subtle sensations of your physical form. You honestly interrogate the boundaries of your verifiable knowledge. You precisely delineate the subjective interpretations from objective facts. You intimately identify the emotional current being subtly installed within your psyche. You diligently endeavor to pinpoint the unequivocal original source. You then perform 3 deliberate, unhurried exhalations. When the emotional or energetic charge rises, you articulate the phrase that aligns you with coherence, "I choose a clean signal." And you consciously permit the nascent seeds of truth to fully mature and gain their inherent potency before lending your energy to their propagation. In doing so, you will inevitably feel your entire inner system achieve a profound state of greater equilibrium. Your cognitive processes will attain unparalleled clarity. Your interpersonal connections will become remarkably more authentic and unburdened. Your innate wellspring of creative expression will become more readily accessible, and your capacity for joy will shed its contingent shackles, blossoming into an unconditional wellspring. For genuine joy flourishes unequivocally within the fertile ground of coherence, and coherence, in turn, blossoms most vibrantly within the steadfast embrace of integrity. And integrity, in its purest essence, thrives most majestically when the precious commodity of attention is revered as truly sacred. As you diligently stabilize this profound truth within yourself, a deeper and more self-evident realization will spontaneously emerge, because you will begin to perceive how profoundly your conscious, internal ascent actively sculpts the very contours of your perceived reality. Every single external stimulus, you will discern, presents itself as an open doorway leading to myriad possibilities. You will come to intimately understand how your focused attention functions as an invaluable form of vital currency, and consequently, you will begin to judiciously direct its flow with an ever-increasing measure of meticulous precision and profound love. With this deepened understanding, we now gracefully step into the third pivotal gateway, the portal we call consent, as circuit breaker. For what is happening in your world in this period is a remarkably potent and targeted form of energetic impingement upon the delicate human instrument. It is a relentless bombardment stemming from unprecedented velocity, an overwhelming deluge of infinite stimuli, and an incessant, seductive invitation to impulsively react, to hastily comment, to dogmatically align with a particular faction, and to vehemently embrace outrage as a defining characteristic of one's very identity. And as this intensification relentlessly proceeds, you are discovering something that is paradoxically straightforward, yet immeasurably emancipating. The trajectory of your personal reality is not primarily dictated by the most sensational headline or the most earth-shattering external event. It is rather fundamentally reshaped by that which you consciously permit to reside and flourish within your energetic field, by the mental scripts you tirelessly rehearse, the concepts you diligently nourish with your precious attention, the narratives you magnify with the power of your voice, the patterns you normalize through ceaseless reiteration, and the emotional vigor you expend as if it were an intrinsic professional obligation. This is precisely why conscious consent emerges as the ultimate, indispensable circuit breaker, for consent embodies that exact, profound instant when you unequivocally recall that your attention is, in essence, your sovereign property, that your focused awareness is inherently sacred, that the inner sanctum of your being rightfully belongs to the inviolable platform of your heart, and that you possess the inherent power to precisely determine what gains entry, what is permitted to linger, what is encouraged to flourish, and what is allowed to silently recede into oblivion. In practicing this profound truth, you begin to feel the palpable manifestation of the new Earth's envisioned reality within the minutiae of your daily existence. For the foundation of the new Earth is meticulously constructed upon the bedrock of consciously embodied agreements, rather than through mere ephemeral hopes or fleeting desires. And consent, therefore, is an unspoken, yet profoundly binding, accord that your entire being repeatedly ratifies through a myriad of seemingly small, inconspicuous moments that collectively blossom into monumental, life-altering outcomes. The entirety of humanity now finds itself immersed within a vast and ever-expanding attention economy. And this undeniable reality is becoming more obvious and undeniable with each passing day. Many systems are meticulously engineered to aggressively contend for your visual engagement, your digital interactions, your righteous indignation, your captivated fascination, your primal fears, your long for certainties, and your lingering hopes. As this competition intensifies to unprecedented levels, the very fabric of digital content becomes increasingly potent, exquisitely polished, profoundly emotionally persuasive, and uncannily capable of presenting a facade of reality, even when laced with deep distortions. You are about to witness a dramatic acceleration of this phenomenon, where images can be conjured and assembled with bewildering rapidity, vocal patterns can be meticulously mimicked with uncanny accuracy, video clips can be artfully manipulated to craft a desired impression, and dialogues can be skillfully funneled into cyclical patterns that prioritize immediate, visceral reaction over the arduous pursuit of objective truth. In such a hyper-stimulated environment, your inherent sovereignty transforms from an abstract ideal into a profoundly pragmatic, lived reality. Because sovereignty is not merely a philosophical construct to be proclaimed publicly or a concept you post on social media. It is, rather, the deeply intentional manner in which you consciously select your informational inputs. It is the unwavering dedication with which you cultivate your focus. It is the precise calibration of your emotional investments. It is the deliberate rhythm you adopt for your daily existence. And it is the conscious articulation of the very essence of the human being you aspire to become in response to the prevailing collective atmosphere. And now your entire energetic field is learning that the most formidable shield against external pressures is not found in retreating from the world or constructing insurmountable barriers. Instead, it lies in possessing the profound capacity to engage with the world from a place of unshakable inner coherence, and to meticulously choose your interactions with absolute precision, boundless compassion, and unwavering self-reverence. For this, in its deepest essence, is the very definition of true consent. Consent, beloveds, is far more expansive and encompassing than the narrowly defined parameters your contemporary world has been conditioned to articulate, because consent includes the conscious management of your intricate personal relationships, your vocational endeavors, the media you consume, The dialogues you engage in, your ingrained habits, the incessant cycles of your thoughts, your passionate arguments, your chosen forms of entertainment, your gnawing anxieties, your vivid fantasies, your mental rehearsals of past resentments, and your oft-repeated predictions about future events. Every single one of these facets morphs into an energetic portal through which your vital life force invariably flows. And now you are profoundly awakening to the undeniable truth that your inherent energy is an invaluable asset. Your focused attention is a precious commodity. Your emotional charge holds significant weight, and your finite time is utterly priceless. When you begin to treat these as truly valuable, you begin to make significantly divergent choices. You begin to choose what genuinely replenishes your spirit. You begin to choose what authentically fortifies the intrinsic wisdom of your heart's foundation, and you begin to choose what unequivocally sustains your life's purpose, rather than merely offering fleeting stimulation. This is precisely the point where the indispensable circuit breaker intercedes. Because once a human being consciously apprehends the precise moment a self-perpetuating cycle attempts to clandestinely embed itself, a transformative new choice instantly becomes available, and that singular choice possesses the power to fundamentally alter everything. For it definitively severs the ingrained, automatic impulse and unequivocally restores your conscious awareness back into your own capable hands. Let us now delve into the vibrant, living mechanics of this essential circuit breaker. Your focused attention is the indelible signature that bestows reality upon any experience within your internal landscape. When you consistently direct your attention towards a particular subject, your intricate internal system begins to subconsciously infer its profound significance, commences to embed it as an intrinsic component of your identity, and initiates a process of structural reorganization around its perceived importance. It is for this very reason that individuals can experience profound exhaustion from narratives they have never personally encountered or actively live for. Their attention has, in essence, lived those scenarios 1,000 times over in the mental arena of rehearsal. And it is precisely why people can harbor paralyzing fear of futures that have not yet materialized, because their attention has journeyed to those speculative landscapes daily, invariably returning laden with a potent emotional charge. As the overarching collective energetic field grows increasingly cacophonous and saturated with stimuli, you are becoming acutely more sensitive to its subtle influences. You are noticing the astonishing rapidity with which a single stimulus can drastically alter your mood, the swiftness with which even a brief digital clip can propel your entire nervous system into a state of heightened activation, and how quickly a prolonged session of online comments can leave you feeling profoundly weighted down and energetically depleted. The profound invitation extended by this particular portal is to consciously infuse those critical moments with the compassionate wisdom of your heart, and to steadfastly remember that it is you, and you alone, who possesses the ultimate authority to determine what receives the precious current of your life force. And that decision, far from being a harsh or restrictive decree, is in fact a deeply compassionate and self-nurturing act. For the most profound expression of love you can offer to your own sacred being is to meticulously select stimuli that empower you to remain unequivocally clear in your perception, unfailingly kind in your disposition, steadfastly present in the moment, and eminently capable of acting with profound wisdom. So, to make this spiritual truth tangibly applicable, because humanity flourishes most vibrantly when spiritual wisdom is rendered readily accessible in daily life, we present you with a transformative practice. We have christened this practice the 3 doors. It is to be utilized the precise instant you feel an irresistible tug, the moment you sense yourself ensnared, or when you perceive your precious focus being actively solicited and commandeered. You simply ask yourself, with a serene yet inquisitive demeanor, through which door am I poised to pass? For every single stimulus offers one of 3 distinct doors of profound nourishment: mere transient stimulation, or outright energetic depletion. When you consciously affix a label to the impending door, you immediately reclaim your inherent power of choice, for your internal system ceases to perceive the pull as an irresistible, automatic compulsion and begins to recognize it as a distinct, consciously optional engagement. And the question then becomes very simple and direct: does this truly replenish and sustain the vitality of my heart? does this merely offer a superficial jolt without providing any genuine substance or sustenance? Or does this ultimately drain my reserves and leave my being fragmented and disoriented? In practicing this consistent inquiry, you will feel your capacity for nuanced discernment blossom with remarkable swiftness. For your physical body offers unequivocally honest responses, your breath reveals unvarnished truths, and the profound platform of your heart provides candid, unfiltered insights. Once you unequivocally know which door you are about to walk through, you are empowered to consciously select the entrance that truly reveres and elevates your precious life's journey. This is the circuit breaker in dynamic action. Now we invite you to integrate this profound understanding into a dedicated 7-day immersion. For indeed, deliberately confined timeframes are profoundly effective at cultivating inner trust and commitment. We invite you to do exactly what an intrinsically coherent creator undertakes when striving for a more refined and resonant outcome. You meticulously adjust the incoming stimuli, you deliberately simplify the energetic flow, and you grant your entire system the invaluable opportunity to undergo a profound recalibration. And so, for the next 7 days, you will consciously choose 3 stimuli to soften, and you will choose 1 stimulus to strengthen. And you are to treat this not as a task, but as a sacred, personal, empirical endeavor, because your energetic field responds with astonishing rapidity when you give it consistent, clear signals. You will feel the transformative results manifest tangibly in your quality of sleep, your emotional equilibrium, your mental lucidity, and your profound capacity to be fully present and engaged with people. The 3 stimuli you choose to soften can be very ordinary, even mundane aspects of your daily existence. Perhaps it's a social media platform you check with excessive frequency, or a particular person whose conversations repeatedly pull you into agitation and reactivity. It could be a spiral of topics that keeps endlessly repeating in your mind, consuming your mental energy. It might be a news cycle you compulsively refresh as if it were an inescapable duty, or perhaps a group chat that keeps you in a state of constant reaction. You consciously mitigate its intensity by purposefully reducing the frequency of your engagement, selecting a more constrained window for interaction, establishing an unequivocal boundary, or consciously relocating it from the sacred bookends of your morning and evening routines, and in doing so, you will inevitably feel the liberating return of expansive inner space. The 1 stimulus you choose to strengthen is meticulously selected as a source of profound nourishment, for true nourishment inherently possesses the capacity to stabilize and fortify your entire energetic field. This could be music that melodiously unfurls your heart space, immersion in nature that powerfully restores your innate perspective, engaging in learning that firmly anchors you in tangible, applicable skills, acts of service that profoundly reconnect you to the broader tapestry of humanity, art that exquisitely rekindles your awareness of inherent beauty, movement that gracefully reintegrates you into the wisdom of your physical form, or prayer that deeply draws you into the sacred chamber of your heart. In doing this, you begin to intimately feel how quickly conscious consent changes your inner weather, because your internal energetic climate is meticulously fashioned by the stimuli and experiences you consistently welcome and entertain. The profound principle of consent also manifests tangibly and powerfully within the realm of language. And this matters now more than ever, for words are the fundamental vessels through which human beings forge solemn agreements with themselves and with the world around them. Many people are about to experience a period wherein they will feel an almost irresistible pull into contentious debates, a compelling urge towards dogmatic certainty, an insistent need to be proven definitively right, an engulfing descent into panic, a somber contemplation of impending doom, or the intoxicating allure of heroic fantasies. In this charged atmosphere, your consciously chosen language emerges as one of your most potent and readily accessible stabilizing forces, because language intrinsically directs your precious attention, and attention, in turn, orchestrates the flow of your vital energy. We invite you to adopt a phrase that functions as a sacred, personal declaration, an indelible signature of your sovereignty, a phrase you can articulate when your system begins to drift toward recruitment, and one that is simple enough for you to remember and retrieve even in the heat of the moment, yet strong enough for your body to instantly relax when you say it. That phrase is "my attention is mine." When you say this internally, you are not fighting anything. It is not an act of resistance. Rather, it is an unequivocal assertion of ownership. It is the conscious retrieval of your awareness, firmly placing it back into your own capable, discerning hands. And from that profound state of reclaimed ownership, you begin to make choices with unprecedented clarity, for your entire internal system instantly recognizes the profound truth encapsulated within that phrase and immediately commences a process of realignment around its irrefutable validity. A second, equally potent phrase stands ready alongside it, specifically designed for those moments when external content proves particularly persuasive and rapidly unfolding. I choose what enters my field. And a third, anchoring phrase promptly follows suit, to be invoked when the collective energetic volume swells to overwhelming levels. I consent to coherence. These carefully chosen phrases transform into your unshakable anchors, precisely because they are concise, deeply human in their resonance, and possess the intrinsic power to steadfastly return you to the unwavering platform of your heart amidst the ceaseless clamor and disorienting din of the modern world. As you actively embody the wisdom of this profound portal, your personal boundaries will simultaneously become more gracefully fluid and undeniably robust. For true boundaries are not rigid, impenetrable walls of separation. Rather, they are crystallizations of profound clarity. And clarity, in its essence, is always infused with kindness. You are about to witness an increasing number of human beings realizing that establishing a boundary is a powerful form of self-respect that ultimately benefits everyone involved, because it elegantly preempts the corrosive buildup of resentment, averts the debilitating effects of energetic overload, bypasses the superficiality of performative agreement, and steadfastly maintains the unvarnished honesty within all relationships. In this transformative period, many people are learning that they can deeply love someone and still consciously choose a different conversation. They can genuinely care about the world and still deliberately choose a smaller intake of information. They can stay informed and still consciously choose a slower, more deliberate pace. These are essential New Earth skills, because the realm of the New Earth is meticulously constructed by individuals who possess the innate capacity to remain intimately connected without becoming utterly consumed, to participate actively without losing their sense of self, and to listen deeply without becoming a passive receptacle for the collective's overwhelming burdens. In practicing consistent consent, you begin to feel your relationships transform in subtle, yet profound ways, where you present yourself with greater authenticity, where your communications are imbued with heightened clarity, where you listen with more profound empathy and depth, and where you consciously cease carrying the heavy burden of emotional residue that never truly belonged to you in the first place. This third portal also prepares you for a particularly potent and distinct wave of energetic influence that is presently coalescing. Because as narratives accelerate with dizzying speed, the seductive temptation towards various forms of uncritical worship will also undeniably escalate the abject worship of fear itself, the fervent worship of conclusive proof, the idolatrous worship of charismatic leaders, the anxious worship of predictive pronouncements, the eager worship of the next moment of dramatic revelation, and the dogmatic worship of absolute certainty, the conviction that my side possesses the undeniable truth. And it is your unwavering, conscious consent that steadfastly safeguards your inherent freedom within this tumultuous landscape. For consent serves as a constant, potent reminder that you are the sole arbiter of your inner guidance, the sovereign director of your precious focus, the conscious sculptor of your emotional stance, and the deliberate architect of the internal state in which you choose to reside, even as the external world clamors with unyielding volume. The profound, unwavering platform of your heart emerges as the sacred locus from which all your definitive decisions emanate. Once you have made such a conscious decision, your attention will, by its very nature, spontaneously align itself with your chosen direction, for attention invariably gravitates towards that which you most deeply value. And when you hold coherence in high esteem, you will instinctively move to safeguard that coherence. When you cherish truth, you will approach truth with meticulous care and reverence. When you prize peace, you will consciously withdraw your energy from anything that seeks to usurp your inner tranquility. And when you deeply value love, you will deliberately choose stimuli that ensure love remains vibrant and accessible within your physical being, within the resonance of your voice, and within the fabric of your every choice. So let the profound wisdom of this portal be lived in ordinary moments. For it is precisely within these ordinary moments that the grand tapestry of destiny is meticulously woven and profoundly shaped. You will discern its immediate, tangible effects from the very first moments of your ensuing day. You wake and consciously select what your eyes first encounter. You deliberately choose which narratives you permit to infiltrate the sacred space of your mind. You thoughtfully determine the energetic tone you introduce into your home. You consciously decide how you address yourself internally. You autonomously choose whether your morning unfolds under the oppressive weight of pressure or within the expansive embrace of presence. In making these seemingly small choices consistently, you begin to feel a larger, more profound and transformative shift occurring, one where your vital energy flows back to you with renewed vigor, where your creative wellspring returns with unbridled exuberance and undeniable authenticity. You will find that a profound sense of unhurried calm reestablishes itself within you. Your innate mastery over personal rhythm is gracefully restored, and the vibrant essence of joy becomes ever more readily accessible. Consequently, your very existence starts to resonate with an intrinsic sense of belonging, as if you were reclaiming a cherished birthright. This, indeed, is the profound and authentic restoration of self-sovereignty, unequivocally facilitated by the true power of consent. In the weeks swiftly approaching, this invaluable insight will only amplify in significance, for the pervasive collective field continues to emanate an intensity that calls for a particular kind of human being, one who can gracefully meet such energetic surges with an unshakable heart, a mind of pristine clarity, and a physical body that truly feels like a secure and comforting sanctuary. As you meticulously stabilize this conscious embrace of consent within your being, another profound realization will surface with effortless grace. Your physical body, in its wisdom, will begin to unveil itself. As the most impeccably honest receiver, you possess a remarkable, living instrument through which the subtle nuances of alignment are perceived and by which your sustained state of coherence is meticulously maintained. When your attention is refined and purified, free from distraction, your body unfailingly responds with an even greater degree of inherent stability. Your breath will flow with effortless ease. Your periods of sleep will become deeply restorative and profoundly rejuvenating, and your inner intuition will blossom into an even more reliable guide. It is from this deepening, evolving relationship with your own physical receiver that we collectively embark upon a journey into the fourth portal, a phase where you consciously begin to synchronize your body, consciously choosing to revere your human form as a sacred, intricate technology. Within this portal, you will deliberately cultivate an enduring stability within your nervous system and meticulously align your daily rhythms, thereby enabling your inner light to emanate through you with unburdened ease, even as the ongoing unfoldment of external events continues its natural course. And so, we now ceremoniously enter this fourth portal, the gateway we have designated as harmonic body tuning. This is because what is currently manifesting on your earthly plane is nothing less than a significant amplification of energetic oscillation, an accelerated surge in the collective rhythm, and a burgeoning, exquisite sensitivity emerging within the delicate human instrument. As this energetic evolution progresses, you are undoubtedly observing that your body acts as the primary responder, often registering these shifts even before your mind can articulate them with language. These responses manifest as subtle yet discernible changes in your sleep patterns, your appetite, your sense of balance, your capacity for sustained focus, your emotional rhythm, and even in the inherent desire of your system to either move with swift purpose or to seek profound moments of silence. This constitutes a vital message, one intended to be deeply received, for your body is the fundamental receiver within which you reside, the very vessel of your conscious experience. Your body serves as the tangible ground where the elevated platform of your heart finds its practical application, and it is within your body that the potent frequency of the new earth truly becomes habitable, transforming from a mere theoretical concept into a lived reality. This intrinsic connection is precisely why this particular portal carries such immense importance for the months stretching ahead. As coherence is diligently sustained through your embodied physical life long, before it crystallizes into a narrative you recount to yourself. Furthermore, a truly stabilized body empowers you to maintain an unwavering state of kindness, pristine clarity, and profound presence, even as the external volume of the world intensifies its clamor. Harmonic body tuning, in its essence, simply implies that your intricate inner rhythms begin to perfectly resonate with what is inherently true and authentic for you. It's akin to a skilled musician meticulously tuning an instrument to produce a pure, clean tone, or a seasoned sailor astutely adjusting their course to navigate a changing tide, or indeed, how any living system instinctively rediscovers its stable, harmonious cadence after experiencing a disruptive surge. You are in the process of mastering this fundamental art now, largely because the collective field currently transmits a far greater volume of stimulus than it has in previous eras. The very sky, at times, feels palpably more charged, and torrents of information arrive at a velocity that outpaces your system's capacity for timely digestion. Consequently, your body instinctively yearns for more stable anchors, firm points of reference that can gently pull it away from incessant mental cycles and lovingly draw it back into a state of embodied, grounded presence. The truly remarkable aspect of this process is the swift and willing responsiveness of your internal receiver when you consistently provide it with clear, predictable signals. This is because the human form, in its wisdom, inherently gravitates towards rhythm, finds comfort in gentle repetition, cherishes simplicity, and possesses an ancient memory of how to instantly calm itself the very moment you offer it predictable, loving care. This profound understanding illuminates why this portal is less about implementing dramatic, arduous techniques and more about embracing small, yet incredibly faithful practices that you can seamlessly weave into your ordinary days, the very kind of practices that lovingly guide you back to feeling utterly at home within your own skin once more. Therefore, we are delighted to present you with an eminently practical tuning protocol, one designed to be effortlessly understood, easily repeatable, and profoundly powerful when you truly make it your own. This essential protocol commences with consistent hydration, recognizing that water stands as one of the simplest yet most effective means by which your body registers fundamental support and unwavering stability. It then seamlessly transitions to authentic, nourishing nutrition for your cells in their intelligence, respond optimally to sustenance that is both clean and consistent. Following this is the practice of gentle movement, a recognition that your body naturally integrates and processes energetic flows through intentional physical activity. Next, we emphasize the importance of consciously opening and lengthening the spinal column, as your spine serves as a vibrant, living corridor of communication threading throughout your entire system. This leads naturally to mindful breath, understanding that breath itself is the most direct and potent lever for cultivating coherence. Finally, the protocol guides you towards focusing your attention on a single task, acknowledging that fragmented attention inexorably creates a false sense of urgency and scatteredness within your inner landscape. All these elements, when harmonized together, forge a robust and stable baseline, one that will become exponentially more valuable as external events and conversations inevitably escalate in their intensity. For you will undeniably feel the profound difference between dwelling within a stable, harmonious cadence and perpetually existing amidst constant, overwhelming stimulus. This very difference creates the sacred space where your intrinsic peace is meticulously protected and your inner guidance becomes unmistakably audible. Integrate this profound wisdom into the reality of your everyday life by establishing 3 small, consistent anchors that you commit to repeating, understanding that repetition is the fundamental language through which your inherent receiver learns and adapts. You have the freedom to choose a morning anchor, a midday anchor, and an evening anchor, each deliberately kept simple enough that your life can effortlessly accommodate it, even on your busiest and most demanding days. In the morning, let your initial anchor be the harmonious combination of water and breath. Here, you slowly savor a full glass of water, allowing its essence to permeate your system, while simultaneously engaging in 3 long, deliberate exhalations that consciously soften and release any tension held in your shoulders. This practice of extended exhalation communicates to your body in a profound language far older than conscious thought, the unequivocal message that it is safe to deeply settle into the present moment. Following this, grant your body a precious minute of gentle spinal movement. This could involve gracefully rolling your shoulders, gently lengthening your neck, stretching your spine in a way that feels inherently kind and nurturing, and allowing your eyes to softly rest upon something natural, perhaps a window, a towering tree, or the vast expanse of the sky, thereby enabling your entire system to receive and integrate a wider, more expansive horizon. In the middle of your day, let your anchor manifest as a short, intentional walk, even if it's merely 5 minutes in duration. This is because rhythmic walking possesses the inherent ability to reorder your inner rhythm and profoundly assist your body in metabolizing any accumulated emotional charge. As you walk, consciously place your attention on the sensation of your feet connecting with the ground, and allow your breath to move freely and uninhibitedly. You will distinctly feel your mind gradually settle into a quieter state, effortlessly, without any need for forceful intervention. This is harmonic tuning actively unfolding in real time, a testament to your Bodhi's innate wisdom. In the evening, let your anchor be one of profound nourishment and conscious deceleration. Here, you thoughtfully select foods that leave you feeling deeply grounded and exquisitely clear. Consciously create a soft, inviting landing for your day with warm, gentle light, subtly lowered ambient sound, slower, more deliberate movements, and conclude with the simple, comforting gesture of placing a hand on your heart before you surrender to sleep. For your sleep will deepen considerably when your system feels authentically cared for, guided, and lovingly eased into its state of restorative rest. As you faithfully integrate these anchors into your daily existence, you will inevitably observe a very fundamental human truth. Your body begins to cultivate a deep sense of trust in you. And when your physical body extends this trust, your intuition blossoms into pristine clarity. Emotions become far easier to acknowledge and hold without overwhelm, and your reactions become notably less automatic, less driven by impulse. This is because your inner rhythm feels genuinely supported and nurtured, rather than perpetually pushed and pressured. Many among you are undoubtedly perceiving now that the act of multitasking feels significantly more exhausting than it once did. This is a clear signal from your inner receiver, eloquently asking for greater coherence. Your attention, after all, is an integral and vital part of your Bodhi's intricate energetic circuit. When your precious attention is fragmented and divided across myriad streams simultaneously, your entire system experiences a perpetual sensation of constantly shifting gears, relentlessly preparing for the next anticipated interruption. Therefore, harmonic tuning gracefully incorporates a new and profound appreciation for single-tasking, a practice where you consciously grant yourself permission to engage in one activity at a time, more frequently, diligently completing a small, coherent cycle before commencing another. This could manifest as eating with mindful presence sometimes, speaking with unwavering presence, walking with embodied presence, or resting with deep presence, because these seemingly simple acts invariably guide your system back to a coherent, harmonious rhythm. It is precisely this coherence that empowers you to effortlessly receive the higher frequencies that are already beginning to permeate and play within your reality. Breath, beloveds, stands as the quintessential central tool within this portal. For breath serves as the sacred bridge connecting your physical body with your expansive consciousness. When you consciously learn to utilize your breath with deliberate intention, you effectively carry a portable, internal stabilizer wherever you venture, a capability of immense importance, as the forthcoming months promise to usher in even more intense social fields, more emotionally charged conversations, and an increasing number of moments when your unwavering desire will be to remain stable and centered while others around you are still actively navigating their own journeys of learning. Stability. Allow your breath to become a profound handshake with your entire system. A slow, intentional inhalation draws you deeply into the present moment, and a longer, extended exhalation guides you into a profound state of calm. Practice this diligently and frequently enough that it transforms into an inherent reflexo that when you sense the collective noise and chaos rising, you instinctively lengthen your exhalation, and your body immediately recognizes and responds to this powerful signal of safety. Complement this essential breath work with gentle movement, paying particular attention to your spine, shoulders, and hips. These areas, in particular, tend to accumulate and hold a significant portion of the human pattern of contraction. By consciously softening and releasing tension in these regions, you facilitate a greater, more unrestricted flow of energy throughout your system. And when this vital flow is restored, your thoughts become notably less sticky and repetitive, your emotions become less sharp and overwhelming, and the elevated platform of your heart becomes far more accessible, for the heart articulates its wisdom with greater clarity through a body that feels like a friendly, welcoming home. As you meticulously stabilize this fourth portal, you will begin to uncover a profound truth. A stable, harmonized body accomplishes far more than simply making you feel good. It empowers you to create with greater efficacy, to love with deeper authenticity, and to serve with more impactful grace. This is because your intrinsic creativity flows seamlessly through your physical system. Your boundless compassion expresses itself through your physical system, and your keen discernment operates through your physical system. A truly tuned receiver grants you greater reach, expanded capacity, enhanced resilience, and a deeper wellspring of tenderness, all simultaneously. This is precisely why the most straightforward, seemingly simple practices now possess such immense power, because the world is actively inviting intensity, and you're consciously choosing coherence. Coherence, in turn, blossoms naturally when your hydration is constant and consistent, when your nutrition is clean and pure, when your movement is gentle yet consistent, when your breath is deliberately employed as a stabilizer, and when your attention is consciously treated as a single, focused flow, more often than a scattered, fragmented storm. In authentically living this, you will perceive your days expanding and feeling more spacious internally, even as your external calendar remains densely filled. You will also experience the return of a more stable, profound joy, a quiet, enduring sense of well-being that is not contingent upon the world being calm, for it emanates directly from your receiver being perfectly tuned. Therefore, embrace this portal with profound gentleness and unwavering consistency, and feel how swiftly and profoundly your system responds. You are currently residing in a time when the collective field frequently rewards reactivity, but you are consciously stepping into a different reality where your own body generously rewards coherence. Once your receiver is impeccably tuned, a new and exquisite form of upliftment becomes readily available to you. An upliftment that carries an inherent lightness and a delightful playfulness, an abundance of beauty and a joyous laughter, a profound softness that effortlessly releases density. It is from this stable, harmonious foundation of harmonic body tuning that we gracefully transition into the fifth portal, the gateway we call the vector of joy. For the collective field is currently intensifying and will continue to escalate in the weeks ahead, manifesting with an increasing multitude of voices speaking concurrently, faster oscillations of emotion rippling through the social atmosphere, and more moments where individuals feel pressured to swiftly finalize conclusions. Amidst this swirling intensity, your heart is diligently mastering an advanced skill, one that appears deceptively simple on the surface, yet feels like boundless freedom within the profound skill of choosing an upliftment point that cannot possibly be confiscated or diminished by external circumstances. Joy, you see, is not a reward you patiently await after the world somehow calms. Rather, joy is an intrinsic inner posture that keeps your perception expansive, your timing impeccably clean, your creativity ever available, and your love effortlessly accessible. When you consciously embrace joy as a vector, that is, a deliberate direction, you purposefully begin to navigate this magnificent moment with far greater grace and significantly less tension. You will also begin to realize that lightness is not, in fact, the antithesis of depth. Instead, lightness is precisely what allows depth to be lived and experienced without the burden of excessive weight. This insight holds immense importance now, because many people are inadvertently carrying an excessive burden of seriousness as an identitious if gravity itself served as proof of their sincerity, while your heart is lovingly teaching you that a bright, buoyant spirit can carry profound truth with effortless ease, that genuine laughter can beautifully coexist with astute discernment, that playfulness can harmoniously reside alongside maturity, and that the expansive arena of the new earth is accessed with far greater ease through a heart that consciously chooses to remain open. Within this portal, we are exploring joy as a remarkable form of technology, and we employ that term with deliberate consideration. For technology, in its purest definition, simply signifies a method designed to produce a repeatable, predictable result. And joy, without question, consistently produces repeatable, beneficial results within the human experience. It skillfully loosens mental rigidity, gracefully restores emotional spaciousness, significantly increases your capacity to perceive a multitude of options, strengthens your innate ability to connect with others effortlessly, and unfailingly guides you back to the present moment, where authentic guidance is genuinely received. What is currently transpiring is that many individuals are learning through direct, lived experience that the mind becomes constricted and narrower when perpetually overloaded, that the body becomes heavier and denser when saturated with a constant barrage of commentary, and that the heart becomes quieter and less resonant when its inner chamber is perpetually filled with the pressure of performance. In this context, the vector of joy acts as a powerful opening, an expansive release, a gentle unburdening of internal compression. This is not because you're choosing to ignore the realities unfolding on your planet, but rather because you are consciously electing to meet what is happening from the most potent and empowered state you can possibly inhabit, the state where you remain profoundly coherent and vibrantly alive within your very self. As the coming weeks bring forth an even greater influx of revelations, conversations, news, and social tides, you will undeniably feel how immensely valuable it is to possess a living, embodied practice that proactively uplifts you before these waves even arrive. For once you are uplifted, you navigate these waves as a conscious, sovereign being rather than merely a reactive instrument. Joy, beloveds, is also a language your heart speaks with profound fluency, and your heart has always instinctively utilized it as a reliable compass. Joy arises naturally, spontaneously, when you are in authentic alignment with what is fundamentally true for you. It manifests as a quiet, reassuring warmth when you find yourself in the right place, embracing the right rhythm, engaging in the right conversation, and moving in the right direction. Many of you are now perceiving that the old, ingrained habit of relentlessly pushing through life with grim seriousness is steadily losing its appeal. It exacts too high a cost and energy and yields very little in return, whereas joy, in stark contrast, generously replenishes your energy reserves. What is on the cusp of unfolding for many of you is that you will begin to recognize joy not as an indulgence, but as an indispensable form of guidance. You will begin to viscerally feel that moments of uninhibited laughter restore a profound clarity, that moments of exquisite beauty restore an abiding patience, and that moments of playful engagement restore a deep wellspring of courage. This profound recognition will fundamentally alter how you choose to structure your day, for you will begin to treat joy as a potent stabilizer, a masterful builder of coherence, a fundamental way to keep your heart's platform actively engaged while navigating a world that often pressures you to harden. And you will discover that a softened heart is far from fragile. A softened heart is exquisitely flexible, and flexibility is, without question, one of the most powerful and enduring strengths a human being can possibly embody in an era defined by rapid and continuous change. Therefore, we integrate this portal into a practice that is simple enough to effortlessly live by, yet powerful enough to profoundly reshape your inner emotional landscape. This transformative practice commences with a deliberate, joyful act performed every single day. This act should be chosen with sincere intention, infused with a spirit of playfulness, and undertaken with a deep understanding that you are constructing a new, elevated baseline through consistent repetition, for your inner system responds profoundly to what you repeatedly offer it. Let this joyful act be small, authentic, and easily achievable, the kind of thing you can genuinely do even when your day is bustling and full, because that is precisely how you teach yourself, deep within, that joy is your inherent birthright. You might sing a song in your car with abandon, as if returning to the most authentic part of yourself. You might allow your body to move freely for 2 minutes in your kitchen to music that expansively opens your chest. You could step outside and let your eyes find the boundless sky, breathing as if being directly nourished by the vast horizon. You might send a message filled with genuine warmth and lighthearted humor to someone you deeply cherish. You might make a wonderfully ridiculous face at your own reflection and allow yourself the pure gift of laughter. You could cook something with vibrant color and mindful presence. You might create something beautiful with your hands, without any need for it to serve a practical purpose. You consciously allow yourself to truly enjoy life again. And in deliberately choosing these small, joyful acts daily, you'll begin to notice that your inner space becomes demonstrably brighter. Your thinking becomes remarkably clearer. Your emotional state evolves into one of greater resilience. And you become far more resistant to being pulled into the collective heaviness that often permeates the atmosphere. This is because joy functions as an innate inner buoyancy, effectively keeping you afloat and elevated, while still allowing you to care deeply and compassionately for the world around you. We also warmly invite you into a second practice within this potent portal, the practice of unexplained laughter. Laughter, you see, is a swift and direct pathway to the present moment, and it possesses an unparalleled ability to clear away any lingering residue of intensity from your inner emotional landscape in a way that intellectual analysis often cannot. You are now learning, through direct experience, that the mind can endlessly analyze, while the heart, in its simple wisdom, simply yearns to live, and spontaneous laughter unfailingly returns you to the vibrant current of life itself. Consciously choose moments when you allow laughter to be innocent and unburdened, when you permit humor to be simple and unforced, when you grant playfulness the freedom to exist without being justified as productive or efficient. And in doing so, you will feel something profoundly important shift within your very reality. Conversations will soften. People will become more genuinely human with each other. The sharp edges of division will begin to lose their intensity, and your own heart will become even more available and receptive to receiving clear guidance, because a joyful heart instinctively remains open, and an open heart is primed to receive a pristine signal. You will undoubtedly observe in the coming weeks that many individuals employ seriousness as a protective shield, as if it could somehow safeguard them from the sting of disappointment. And yet, you are on the verge of discovering that joy is, in fact, a superior form of protection. Joy keeps your vital life force flowing energetically. Joy actively prevents stagnation. Joy protects you from being emotionally recruited and overwhelmed by every dramatic wave that sweeps through the collective. And joy assists you in holding truth with a lighter, more flexible grip, which, paradoxically, allows truth to gently guide you rather than hardening your spirit. Beauty, beloveds, emerges as a third essential practice within this portal. For beauty is one of the most direct and eloquent ways the universe communicates with the human heart. Moreover, beauty is also one of the quickest and most effective methods to remind your entire system that life is immeasurably larger and more expansive than the current, often limiting narrative. Therefore, consciously allow beauty to become a daily point of contact within your world of practice, where you deliberately create it, purposefully notice it, and intentionally infuse it into your immediate environment. This is particularly crucial now because many environments are saturated with harshness, with unrelenting speed, with the pervasive glow of screens, and with perpetually compressed attention. Beauty, in stark contrast, reintroduces a vital sense of spaciousness. You can infuse beauty through the quality of light in your room, through sounds that resonate as sacred to your soul, through the presence of lush plants and flowing water and natural textures, through carefully chosen art placed where your eyes can gently rest, through the mindful way you dress with color and intention, through the artistry with which you arrange a meal, and through the thoughtful care you extend to your personal space, treating it as a sacred extension of the platform of your heart. And in consciously engaging in these practices, you begin to construct an inner and outer field that actively supports your coherence, and you will viscerally feel how much easier it becomes to remain kind when your senses are consistently nourished. You will also feel how much easier it is to remain discerning and clear-headed when your system is not starving for the profound sustenance of joy. This fifth portal also imparts a subtle, yet profound lesson regarding timing. For joy is not merely an emotion, it serves as an insightful timing clue. And many of you are about to recognize that when you are in authentic alignment, life begins to unfold with notably less friction. You begin to effortlessly attract the right people into your orbit. You begin to attract opportunities that align perfectly with your deepest desires and purpose. You begin to receive the precise information you need, precisely when it is most beneficial, creating a profound shift in your daily experience. Consequently, you find yourself making decisions with significantly greater ease and confidence, no longer bogged down by uncertainty or internal conflict. This remarkable transformation isn't born from joy miraculously mending the complex fabric of the world around you, rather. Its power stems from joy's profound ability to anchor you firmly within the sanctuary of your own heart. It is within this sacred space of the heart that your innate sense of timing evolves into something truly intelligent, almost prescient, where a mind steeped in seriousness often strains to impose its will, relentlessly attempting to force particular outcomes. A heart brimming with joy possesses an exquisite, intuitive discernment. It inherently senses the opportune moment to take action, the right instant to articulate your thoughts, when silence and patience are required, when rest is paramount for rejuvenation, and when the creative impulse truly blossoms. And that, fundamentally, is why joy emerges as such an incredibly potent force, especially in an era saturated with fleeting, rapidly evolving narratives. Its strength lies in its capacity to gently, yet firmly, guide you back to your own authentic, natural rhythm, a rhythm that is uniquely yours and deeply grounding. Joy empowers you to shift from a reactive stance, constantly responding to external stimuli, into a state of thoughtful, deliberate response. It acts as an internal compass, preventing you from being helplessly swept away by the swift, often turbulent currents of the collective consciousness. As a torrent of new information continues to inundate your world, you will observe a striking phenomenon countless individuals will seize upon each fresh revelation as an immediate pretext to plunge headfirst into needless drama and emotional turmoil. In stark contrast, you are cultivating a profound, new skill learning to embrace each incoming wave of information, no matter how unsettling, as an invitation to cultivate deeper coherence within yourself, to become more fully present in each moment, and to expand your capacity for unconditional love. Joy serves as the indispensable catalyst for this transformation, for it ensures your very identity remains deeply rooted in the richness of life itself, rather than becoming entangled and defined by the pervasive grip of fear. Therefore, allow the vibrant vector of joy to become a living, breathing commitment that you consciously carry with you through the unfolding weeks and beyond. Make it a deliberate choice. Actively choose to engage in a playful act each and every day, intentionally injecting lightness into your routine. Cultivate an environment where laughter flows freely, innocently, and regularly, allowing its joyful resonance to uplift your spirit. Deliberately place objects of beauty or immerse yourself in scenes of natural splendor, where your senses can fully absorb and revel in their exquisite details. Let the harmonious melodies of music and the liberating grace of movement gently guide you back to your authentic self, reminding you of your intrinsic essence. Nurture your friendships so they are imbued with genuine warmth, profound understanding, and lighthearted humor, enriching your social tapestry. Liberate your creative expressions from the restrictive shackles of performance or external validation, allowing them to flow unburdened and pure. And above all, permit your heart to remember this profound truth: the magnificent arena of a new earth is not being constructed by human beings who are perpetually contracted by stress, fear, or rigidity. Instead, it is being meticulously built by individuals who are wide awake and conscious, embodying a beautiful blend of softness and unwavering strength, those who can courageously hold profound truths without succumbing to rigidity or dogmatism, who can extend deep care and compassion without becoming burdened or heavy-hearted, who can bravely face the vast unknown with an expansive sense of wonder, and who are capable of maintaining their internal brightness and luminosity even amidst the chaotic din and clamor of the collective field. As you steadily stabilize this potent vector of joy within your being, you will intuitively feel the next portal beckoning you forth, drawing you naturally towards it precisely because joy itself acts as an expansive force, gently opening you up to new possibilities. And when you're truly open, your awareness sharpens, becoming even more exquisitely precise. You begin to perceive, with startling clarity, that the very act of directing your attention is a sacred act of creation. That where you choose to focus your energy is, in essence, a profound form of consent to what you wish to manifest or engage with. You start to understand that the manner in which you interact with revelations, with disclosures, with the uncharted territory of the unknown, and with the unfolding tapestry of the future, makes all the difference. It becomes the critical distinction between being helplessly tossed about by the relentless waves of circumstance and gracefully remaining a calm, unwavering point of serenity within their midst. It is from this luminous, uplifted, and deeply coherent state of being that we now courageously step into the sixth portal, the portal we aptly name revelation without collapse. This is a crucial distinction because your world is already inexorably entering a season where information cascades down upon us like ever-changing weather patterns, where conversations shift and morph with astonishing rapidity, where venerable institutions begin to speak in unprecedented ways only to abruptly pause, where previously private realities are thrust into the arena of public discourse, and where footage, documents, testimonies, opinions, and analyses traverse the globe at a speed far exceeding the human heart's innate capacity to process and integrate them. And you are on the cusp of witnessing an even greater acceleration of this phenomenon, a period where individuals will speak with unshakable confidence long before any meaningful context has had a chance to settle, where headlines are meticulously crafted with the singular purpose of seizing and manipulating attention, where the illusion of certainty becomes a desperate fantasy that many will cling to in a frantic bid to feel safe, and where the vast, boundless unknown will be treated by some as mere entertainment, while others perceive it as an existential threat. And it is precisely amidst this dynamic, often disorienting field that you are being extended a profound invitation into a deeply mature and exquisitely human mastery, the mastery of steadfastly remaining autonomous, fully present, courageously open, and inherently kind, even as reality unveils more and more of its intricate layers. Because revelation, when met with a state of genuine coherence, effortlessly transforms into a profound blessing, whereas it becomes a heavy, burdensome weight when confronted with emotional contraction or resistance. And your very purpose in this moment, beloveds, is to embody and live this blessing. You are here to evolve into the kind of human being who can gracefully navigate immense complexity without hardening their heart or spirit, who can comfortably inhabit the realm of mystery without demanding instant, absolute certainty, and who can assimilate vast, new streams of information without ever surrendering their sacred inner authority. Revelation, my dears, begins subtly but powerfully, first as a fundamental shift in what can truly be voiced, a courageous shift in what can openly be questioned around dinner tables, a significant shift in what can be queried and explored within workplaces, and ultimately, a transformative shift in what individuals are genuinely willing to admit they have seen, felt, and suspected. You are currently witnessing this profound process unfold before your very eyes. For the collective consciousness has commenced the painstaking, yet essential, work of loosening an ancient, restrictive architecture of silence that has long held sway. And as this loosening continues its inexorable progression, you will undoubtedly encounter waves of revelation that arrive with vastly different textures and qualities. Some will be pristine and remarkably useful. Others will be frustratingly incomplete and heavily charged with emotion. And still others will be deliberately shaped with the clear intention of provoking a specific reaction. Your personal task, despite the increasing complexity of the world around you, remains beautifully simple and profoundly impactful. Your task is to meet each incoming wave from the unwavering platform of your own heart, to meticulously keep your inner chamber of being clear and uncluttered, to ensure your timing remains impeccably honest and aligned, and to patiently allow truth to fully ripen and mature before you choose to amplify or disseminate it. This careful discernment ensures that your life remains authentically yours, that your voice resonates with clarity and integrity, and that your relationships are grounded in unvarnished reality and genuine connection. A human being operating from a state of deep coherence automatically becomes a stabilizing field, radiating calm and clarity. And as more and more individuals cultivate this profound coherence within themselves, the collective experience begins to appear less like an overwhelming storm of chaos and more like a significant learning curve, a dynamic process where humans naturally begin to support and assist each other in integration, rather than inadvertently dragging one another into states of panic or distress. And this, truly, is one of the most magnificent and invaluable gifts you can extend to the world in the challenging, yet transformative months that lie ahead. You possess the inherent capacity to be the one who remains spacious and expansive in your being, even as others are just beginning their journey of learning spaciousness. You can be the compassionate listener, offering a steady presence, while others are speaking rapidly and perhaps impulsively. You can be the one who maintains a calm, rhythmic breath while others are rushing headlong, and you can accomplish all of this without resorting to lecturing or preaching, simply by embodying these qualities and living them authentically. This particular portal is fundamentally about resolutely holding your own sacred center while the external stage of the world undergoes dramatic and continuous transformations. When we speak of center, we refer to a deeply lived state that you can tangibly feel within your physical body and in the gentle rhythm of your breath, an intrinsic sense of inner stability that graciously permits you to receive and process vast amounts of information without ever allowing it to govern or overwhelm you. And what profoundly strengthens this essential stability is a carefully curated set of simple, yet potent, anchors that you can consciously employ whenever you perceive the collective volume or intensity beginning to escalate. These anchors are designed to keep you intimately connected to the unvarnished truth without feeling any compulsion to force an immediate conclusion or judgment. We now present 3 such anchors, articulated as living choices that you can return to and practice repeatedly precisely, because consistent repetition inherently cultivates reliability and reinforces their power. The first anchor is "I allow more to be revealed." This powerful statement acts as a gentle yet firm instruction, keeping your brilliant mind expansive and receptive, while simultaneously ensuring your compassionate heart remains soft and open. It gracefully grants time for the intricate tapestry of reality to gradually unfold and clearly demonstrate what is genuinely consistent and true over time. The second anchor is "I move at the pace of truth." This anchor is exquisitely designed to bring your personal timing back into harmonious alignment with the universal flow. It enables you to speak with clarity and impact only when your words are pristine and unburdened by preconceptions, and to patiently wait when your inner chamber of being is still diligently integrating new information and insights. The third anchor is "I choose a clean signal." This anchor is your direct pathway back to profound discernment, because a clean signal inherently feels spacious, utterly honest, wonderfully calm, and intrinsically stable. And when you consciously choose to attune yourself to such a signal, it becomes exponentially more difficult to be ensnared and pulled into endless cycles of knee-jerk reaction. Speak these anchors internally, whisper them to yourself, whenever you feel the collective charge or emotional intensity beginning to rise within you. Utter them before you share any content or information. Recite them before you step into a heated or emotionally charged conversation. Say them to yourself before you definitively decide what you truly believe. And you will feel your inner field of being stabilized with remarkable swiftness, because your intricate system intrinsically responds to clear, heartfelt instructions when they are delivered with genuine sincerity and intention. You are also on the verge of becoming more acutely aware of how the vast, uncharted unknown can readily be utilized as a dynamic stage for projection. This is a common human tendency, for the human mind instinctively abhors gaps in understanding, and it diligently fills those gaps with whatever it has most frequently rehearsed or experienced. And this is precisely why your dedicated practices from the previous portals continue to serve and support you so powerfully in this present moment. The conscious background noise reset graciously bestows upon you profound inner quiet. The cultivation of signal integrity provides you with unerring discernment. The practice of consent grants you true ownership over your precious attention. Harmonic body tuning imbues you with a stable and grounding rhythm, and a vibrant vector of joy consistently keeps you open and receptive. And now, you bring the accumulated wisdom and skill of all these practices to the unique way you choose to meet and engage with this new, surging wave of information. Let your very first response be an intentional breath and a grounding presence, rather than an immediate, frantic interpretation. Let your second response be a diligent context check rather than an impulsive rush to a premature conclusion. Let your third response be a gentle, open-ended question posed to the profound wisdom of your own heart. What is truly present here, beneath the surface? What elements are still in the process of forming and revealing themselves? What is genuinely mine to do right now, in this unfolding moment? Because your wise heart responds not with a complete, overwhelming map, but in practical, actionable ways. It answers with impeccable timing, with liberating simplicity, and with the clear guidance of the very next step. And it is this profound wisdom that meticulously keeps you coherent and centered in a world that is constantly striving to pull you into an obsessive preoccupation with obtaining the complete, overarching map. Time itself acts as a magnificent signal purifier, diligently sifting through noise, and consistency stands as one of the clearest and most irrefutable signatures of truth. So, allow time to diligently perform its sacred work. Permit patterns to gracefully reveal themselves over their own natural course, and let repetition illuminate what is truly real and enduring in your life will feel remarkably calmer, even as the world around you appears to grow increasingly noisier and more turbulent. This is because you will be living in a mature, conscious relationship with unfolding reality, rather than a reactive, impulsive relationship with urgent, attention-grabbing headlines. This particular portal also extends an earnest invitation for you to step into a very specific and increasingly vital kind of leadership that is now becoming absolutely necessary, the leadership of community resilience. For as the collective navigates revelations of numerous and varied kinds, people will naturally seek out someone who can help them feel stable and grounded without attempting to control them. They will search for someone who can sit with them in the discomfort of uncertainty without making them feel wrong or flawed for their feelings. They will long for someone who can gently remind them of their own inherent inner authority without escalating it into a debate or an argument. And you, in your grounded presence, possess the capacity to embody that very presence through remarkably ordinary actions that, cumulatively, build extraordinary stability. Choose to engage in authentic, heartfelt conversations with real human beings, more often the kind where you make direct eye contact, where you truly hear the nuanced tone of their voice, and where you're powerfully reminded that humanity is far more than just a fleeting comment section on the internet. Choose simple, tangible acts of help and service that firmly anchor kindness and compassion in the physical world around you. Choose to participate in and initiate community practices that actively restore trust, shared meals where stories are exchanged, peaceful walks in nature, collaborative projects that bring people together, creative collaborations that ignite shared passion, and genuine mutual support systems. As you engage in these enriching activities, you will notice with remarkable speed how quickly fear loses its pervasive influence when people feel genuinely connected to one another. This is because authentic connection profoundly restores perspective. A broadened perspective in turn restores patience and understanding. And patience ultimately allows unvarnished truth to gracefully emerge without ever needing to be forced or imposed. By supporting your community in these profound ways, you're simultaneously and inseparably supporting your own deep integration. The platform of your heart becomes exponentially stronger and more resilient when it is lived relationally. When it is authentically expressed through acts of kindness, through deep, active listening, through shared humor, and through selfless service through all the small, conscious choices that keep you fundamentally human and grounded, even as the world around you grows increasingly intense and demanding. So, let this sixth portal be the sacred space where you gracefully graduate from any lingering need for a single, momentous event to validate your inner knowing, and instead become the kind of being who can pass through any revelation, no matter how profound, with effortless grace. You will become the kind of person who can hold wonder without ever turning it into rigid worship, who can embrace curiosity without allowing it to devolve into obsessive fixation, who can bravely hold profound truth without ever turning it into a weapon against others, and who can reverently hold the vast unknown as a sacred, expansive space where your heart remains courageously open and your timing remains impeccably clean and true. You are now entering a period in which many established structures are undergoing significant adjustments. Many long-held narratives are being meticulously rewritten. Many personal and collective identities are being thoroughly questioned and re-examined, and countless individuals are earnestly learning what they truly value at their core. And as this profound process unfolds, you will inevitably discover that the deepest and most impactful revelation of all is, in fact, self-revelation, that luminous moment when you recognize with absolute clarity that your own intrinsic coherence is the single most valuable and undeniable evidence you will ever carry. Because coherence fundamentally changes your relationships. Coherence profoundly alters your decisions. Coherence magnificently transforms your creativity. Coherence deeply impacts your overall health and well-being. And vitally, coherence changes what you magnetize into your life, what you draw to yourself. Your grounded presence becomes an undeniable signal to others that a calm human is not only possible but real, that a kind human is achievable, that a discerning human is within reach, and that an awake, conscious human can, indeed, remain fully and vibrantly human. Beloveds, you're actively doing this work right now, in this very moment. You are learning and adapting in real time, building new, resilient habits within a world that is often chaotic and noisy. You are consciously choosing to attune to a clean signal amidst an age saturated with countless stories and narratives. You are treating your attention as a sacred act. You are diligently tuning your daily rhythms to your own natural beat. You are remembering joy as a powerful, directional vector. And you are meeting each new revelation with a heart that remains courageously and compassionately open. And as you continue bravely forward on this path, you will feel the arena of the new earth becoming less of a distant, abstract idea and more of a palpable, lived reality, a reality that authentically begins right in your own kitchen, in your car, in your heartfelt conversations, in your conscious choices, in the simple act of your breath, and in your unwavering willingness to repeatedly return to your authentic self. And we tell you with immense warmth and profound affection that you are undeniably ready for what is unfolding. Because true readiness is not merely a checklist of accomplishments. Readiness is, at its essence, coherence, and coherence is meticulously built, one honest, present moment at a time. We bear witness to you in boundless love and hold you gently in the luminous light of your own profound